Welcome my dear students to the second semester and the first chapter in second semester English Honeydew is Unit 6. This is Geordie's Farm. Geordie is the name of a little boy and Fawn is a baby deer. And this beautiful story is written by Marjorie Kinnan Rowling. And in this session, we'll be doing the first part of it. Now, who is Marjorie Kinnan? Marjorie Kinnan Rowling was born in 8 August 1896 and she died in the month of December 1953. She was an American author who lived in rural Florida, means a village in Florida, and wrote novels with rural themes and settings. Let's see the introduction of this chapter. The story This is Geordie's Farm revolves around the theme of humans living in harmony with nature. Children, it's very important that we should be compassionate towards animals. We should not harm them. They also have the equal right to live on this planet. So this chapter gives a very good moral message that we have to live in harmony with every creature on this planet. If we take care of them, they will never get endangered and they will never get extinct from this planet. And you have learnt in science that if the animals or any plant gets endangered or extinct, it disturbs our ecosystem. Okay, and if they are not there, it will become a threat for the survival of human beings, because this planet is perfect with every living creature. In the story, Geordie's father has been bitten by a rattlesnake. Now, rattlesnake has got its name because when it shake its tail, it gives a rattling sound. You have seen small babies playing with rattles. When they just shake it, it makes sound and they play with that. And this snake, when it shake its tail, it gives a rattling sound. He quickly kills a doe and uses its heart and liver to draw out the poison. So what Geordie does to save his father's life? He killed a doe. Doe means a female deer, and uses its heart and liver to take out the poison from his father's body. Doe meaning a female deer and fawn means a young deer. Now let's begin with this chapter. Before you read, often instead of rushing to the doctor to treat a small cut or burn, we find quick and effective cures using things available at home. Can you think of some such home remedies? Yes. Indians are full of home remedies. They have got many solutions to cure many diseases. So, to cure a cut on your knee, what you will do? You will apply some turmeric. A burn on your arm, just keep it under the running water or apply some curd. A bee sting, rub the onion on that particular area. Okay, so at home also your mothers, your grandmothers might be advising you to have some home remedies when you are in trouble with your illness. In the story, Geordie's father has been bitten by a rattlesnake. He quickly kills a doe and uses its heart and liver to draw out the poison. Geordie wonders what will happen to the little fawn left without a mother. This is the main part of this chapter. The whole chapter is about this particular phrase of concern the Geordie is having for that little baby. The first comprehension of this chapter, Geordie allowed his thoughts to drift back to the fawn. Drift back means go back to. that little baby. He could not keep it out of his mind. It was so bothering to him that what would that little baby deer would do now without his mother. He had held it in his dreams. It was coming in his dreams, in his arms. He slipped from the table and went to his father's bedside where he was taking rest. Penny lay at rest. His father's name is Penny. His eyes were open and clear. He was just lying down. He was not sleeping. But the pupils were still dark and dilated. Pupils inside your eye, you know that. It was still dark and dilated. It was enlarged, big. Geordie said, "How are you feeling, Pa?" Pa means father. "Just fine, son. Old Death has gone thieving elsewhere." So he's telling that he had a narrow escape. He is saved. He's so lucky that he could come out of that dreadful poison. But wasn't it a close shave? It's an idiom. It means a narrow escape. You all know now what is an idiom? Idiom means muhavre in Hindi. "I agree," Geordie's telling. Penny said, "I'm proud of you, boy. The way you kept your head and did what was needed." Now, what is the meaning of kept your head? Means stay calm in a difficult situation. Very often we get panic whenever we come across such situation. But Geordie was very calm and very alert too. And he did what was needed in that particular situation to save his father. "Pa," "Yes, son." "Pa, do you recollect the doe and the fawn?" Now he is telling his father, "Do you remember that doe, that female deer, and the baby deer? I can never forget them. The poor doe saved me. That's certain. That female deer has saved my life." Whose life? His father's life. "Pa, that fawn may be out there yet. It might be hungry and very scared." Now see, he's so worried about that little baby deer. So he's telling his father that fawn might be hungry and might be scared without his mother. "I suppose so. Pa, I'm a big boy now and I don't need to drink milk." So smart and so sweet this little boy is that he's ready to share his milk with this new friend, that fawn. "Why don't I go and see if I can find that fawn and bring it here and raise it?" Now, see, many times it depends on how we present our request before a person, and the way we present it, many times our request and our wishes are fulfilled. So he was so worried about that little fawn, so somehow he wanted to take care of that baby deer. So nicely he is presented in front of his father that he wants to bring it home and take care of that little deer. Penny lay quiet, staring at the ceiling. Ceiling means just the top of the roof. "Boy, you have got me hemmed in." Hemmed in means caught in a situation where one can't say no. So he has presented it so well that his father couldn't say no to Geordie. "It won't take much to raise it, Pa." He's telling that it won't be that expensive to look after that fawn. "It will soon start eating leaves and acorns." Acorns are one kind of nuts. "You are smarter than boys of your age. We took its mother and it wasn't to blame." So he's telling that we have taken the life of the baby deer's mother. Now it's our duty to take care of that baby deer. "Surely it seems ungrateful to leave it to starve. Son, I can't say no to you. I never thought I would live to see another day." So he's telling we should be thankful to that deer, that doe. So you go and bring that fawn. "Can I ride back with Millville and see if I can find it?" Tell your ma I said you can go. Okay, he has already taken the permission from his father. Now he's left, he has to convince his mother that whether he can bring that fawn to home. Whenever you want a pet, you have to convince your parents, no? The same way Geordie is trying to convince them. He sidled back to the table and sat down. Sidled back means walked back quietly, trying not to be noticed. His mother was pouring coffee for everyone. Coffee dal rahi thi for everyone. He said, "Ma, Pa says I can go bring back the fawn." So when she was pouring the coffee, he told that father has told me to bring that fawn back home. So the way she was pouring, it just left like that only. She held the coffee pot in mid-air. "What? Fawn?" she is surprised. "The fawn belonging to the doe we killed. We used the doe's liver to draw out the poison and save Pa." She gasped. "Well, for pity's sake," Geordie is telling, "at least for pity's sake we should do something to that little fawn. Pa says it would be ungrateful to leave it to starve." Doc Wilson said, "That's right, ma'am. Nothing in the world comes quite free. Kuch bhi free mein milta hai? No. The boy is right and his daddy is right." Now he got a supporter who can help him to convince his mother too. Melville said, "He can ride back with me. I'll help him find it." She set down the pot helplessly. She just kept that pot down and she was so helpless because she was knowing that what her son is asking is correct, that we have to take care of that little fawn as we have killed the deer, the mother deer. "Well, if you will give it your milk, we have got nothing else to feed it." So his mother is telling that if you are giving your milk, then it's fine, nothing else more we have to give to that fawn. Melville said, "Come on boy, we have got to get writing." Ma Baxter, the mother's name is Baxter, asked anxiously, "You will not be gone long. You will not be going very long, right?" Geordie said, "I'll be back before dinner for sure." Melville mounted his horse. He took his horse and pulled the Geordie up behind him. See the picture. He said to Melville, "Do you think the fawn's still there? Will you help me find him?" "We will find him if he is alive." "How you know it's he?" The spots were all in a line. So how you can recognize a male deer? If the spots are in a line. On a doe fawn, Pa says the spots are every which way. Every which way means in all direction. In a female one, it is in all direction. But in a male one, it is in one direction. Okay, there are many ways in which we can recognize things. The same way if you see the tiger, we can find out the tiger also, that male and female, the stripes. Okay, even you know the fingerprints of your fingers, every human being has got different fingerprints. Okay, that's why whenever there is a crime happening, so they find the fingerprints to catch the real culprit. Now let's do the comprehension check. There are 4 questions. Let's find out the answers. What had happened to Geordie's father? Geordie's father had been bitten by a rattlesnake. How did the doe save Penny's life? Geordie's father killed the doe. He used her heart and liver to draw out the snake's poison. In this way, the doe saved Penny's life. Why does Geordie want to bring the fawn home? Geordie's father had killed the doe. Without the mother deer, the fawn was likely to starve to death in the forest. So, Geordie wanted to bring the fawn home, young fawn home. How does Geordie know that the fawn is a male? The spots on the fawn's body made Geordie know that it was a male. Now, along with this comprehension, we'll do the speaking part also. Do you think it is right to kill an animal to save a human life? Give reason for your answer. Do you think it is correct? Most of the animals are our friends. Dogs, horses, elephants, cows are a few such animals that serve us. But man has been killing animals for their selfish needs. See, when it is for a purpose, we can understand. But killing for your selfish needs, that's very bad. Anyway, hunting is a crime now. You cannot hunt. If you hunt, you will be behind the bar. Like killing the whales for oil, tigers are killed for their skin and bones. This is not fair. But there is no harm if any of them are killed to save human life, property and agriculture. Like when they enter the agriculture field and all, and they kill the farmers, we have to find a way then. However, killing animals is a crime. It is wrong to kill wildlife for their pleasure, like how kings used to do. But now it's not possible because it is a crime. Hunting and killing is a crime. Second question in speaking is, imagine you wake up one morning and find a tiny animal on your doorstep. You want to keep it as a pet, but your parents are not too happy about it. How would you persuade, उनको कैसे मनाओगे, them to let you keep it? Discuss it in groups and present your argument to the class. The young ones of cats, dogs and some birds attract us. As a child, even I wanted to adopt a puppy as pet. I found a good breed puppy. Puppy, maybe you know there are many kinds, like Pomeranian are there, German Shepherds are there. So breed puppy at my doorstep one day, but it created a commotion, a lot of confusion in the house. My mother got irritated at the presence of it in the house. They bite and bark, enter the house and make things dirty. But I assured her that I would look after my puppy and train it. The loyal dog would act as security guard and a playmate. My parents finally agreed and allowed me one. So, this is the end of today's session. So, homework for today is write word meanings in notebook. All the word meanings you can start writing. Write comprehension check page 90 question answers in notebook. Write speaking question number 1 and 2 also in notebook. And children, don't forget to read the chapter. Once you read, the chapter becomes more interesting and you're able to understand it in a better way. And I'm sure you will obey and follow the instructions. Thank you and have a great day. Take care.